Southampton's under-23 side take on Blackburn Friday evening in what they hope to be a great comeback following their recent result against Wolves away. We caught up with Saints' own Martin Hunter, who had the latest ahead of the game.
Martin, straight back into league action with the challenge of Blackburn on Friday. Firstly, what are you sort of expecting from that game?
It'll be a tough game. One of the coaches, David Dunn, is a friend of mine, so they'll be very well organised, and obviously they've had a terrific start to the season. So we're expecting a difficult game. People talk about this league. It's a very tough league. It presents different problems, and we didn't solve them on Monday, and we certainly need to do on Friday.
You touched upon they've had a good start to this league campaign. They've scored 10 goals in their opening 2 games. How do you guard against a team that are going to be obviously in quite a confident mood?
Well, we need to get back to our way of playing. We need to be more competitive. We need to win a lot of the challenges that we didn't win on Monday, and then play our football. So we've done a lot of work this week. I'd have to say the debrief was not very pleasant for the players, and a few home truths were discussed. So it's tomorrow night, and we need to be back at it.
Thomas, you've got the challenge of Blackburn to look forward to tomorrow night. Firstly, what's been sort of spoken about ahead of that game?
Yeah, well, obviously they've had 2 good results to start off their season, so it's going to be a tough game, but we're hoping to bounce back after a defeat last week and give it a really good go. Yeah,
what's sort of been said in the debrief from last week? Where did it sort of go wrong, and what kind of places have been worked on ahead of tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, we conceded from 2 set pieces, so I think that's a big area that we want to work on, and honestly just try and be better on the ball and kind of try and create more chances and be more clinical.
Will Wood, ball in towards the edge of the box, cleared away, and that is full time at St Mary's, and we're going to have another 30 minutes of extra time. 2 legs hasn't separated Southampton and Blackburn. What will extra time provide here at St Mary's? Here's Gallagher, surrounded by players, but Gallagher gets through them. Josh Sims back to Gallagher. Can he find room for the shot? He drills one. It's a brilliant goal. Sam Gallagher hit that one out of the net. That was a phenomenal strike. And Southampton lead again in the Barclays Under-21 Premier League Cup final. Well, what a fantastic goal. He brought himself in off that left-hand side, beat players with his strength, and hit a ferocious drive into the corner. With his left foot. What a shot that is. Sam Gallagher puts Southampton 2-1 in front. Gallagher does really well to get past his man, to seal it for Southampton. He scuffs his shot. Sims will keep the move alive. Sims needs support, hits the shot poorly. Well, that was the opportunity to put this game beyond any doubt. Sam Gallagher just scuffed the left-footed shot. His goal was with his left foot, and it was a beauty. That one, I'm afraid, wasn't quite as good, and it scuffed off the side of his foot. Mahoney again. Mugabe misses the tackle. The ball's in. It's going to drop on the edge of the box. Tanner over the crossbar. Corner is the decision, and it's going to give David Raya, the goalkeeper, an opportunity to go up. We've got 15 seconds on the watch at St Mary's. Nobody wants to go across and take the corner for Blackburn. Mahoney's going to go over there finally. The goalkeeper is up. All 21 players are in the Southampton half of the field. Here comes the corner, whipped in towards the near post. Gallagher gets it away. Sinclair's onto it. Sims tries to take it past Tanner. There's no goalkeeper, and it's been cleared back up there. Kitchen sink stuff from Blackburn. Ball played in. Gazaniga catches it, and I reckon that's going to be time up. Paulo Gazzaniga holds the ball in his hands. He's going to take every last second and launches the ball upfield. Still we play on. 12,356 fans inside St Mary's, urging the referee to blow his whistle. He looks at his watch for a third time, puts his whistle to his lips and confirms that Southampton have won the Under-21 Premier League Cup.
Good evening from Staplewood ahead of tonight's Premier League 2 Division 2 match between Southampton under-23s and Blackburn Rovers under-23s. Saints looking to bounce back quickly after their 3-0 defeat at Wolves on Monday night, but they'll have their work cut out tonight against the Rovers side, who sit top of the table after 2 wins from their opening 2 matches, scoring 10 goals in the process. A glorious evening for it here at Staplewood tonight as the sun just sets in the distance. And just one change for Southampton to that side that lost at Wolves. 18-year-old Thomas O'Connor coming into the starting 11 for Ben Rowthorne, who drops to the bench. The lineup in full for you then. Jack Rose, Saints' new goalkeeper, starts in goal, played in that match against Wolves. But a first look perhaps for Saints fans of him this evening. A back four of Richard Bakary, Ollie Cook, Alfie Jones the captain and Will Wood. It's a midfield of Armani Little, Callum Slatterly and Thomas O'Connor. And then the attacking three of Marcus Barnes, Tyreek Johnson and Jonathan Afolabi. Saints top scorer in the competition so far with 2 goals. On the bench for Southampton tonight, Ben Rowthorne, Kingsley Latham, Nathan Teller, Christophe Clara and Will Smallbone. And the Blackburn lineup for you as well then. They line up with what we think is going to be a 3-4-3. Andy Fisher's their goalkeeper this evening. That back three of Charlie Doyle, Joe Grayson and Matthew Platt. Across the midfield, Connor Thompson, Lewis Hardcastle, Willem Tomlinson and Lewis Travas. And then it's Daniel Butterworth and Joe Rankin Costello just in behind the lone striker of Joe Nuttall. And he'll be the man to watch out for Blackburn this evening. 5 goals already in this competition so far. 10 scored by Blackburn in their opening 2 games, 5 of them coming from Joe Nuttall, including a hat-trick against Wolves in their opening game of the season. Just about ready to get us underway, and it will be Blackburn to get things started this evening, and they will shoot towards the dome here at Staplewood, of course, Southampton's indoor pitch. An early touch for Andy Fisher. He opts to go long early on, straight over the halfway line. Contrasting results, of course, so far for Saints in this competition. Opening up with a decent win against Reading, 4-0 at St Mary's. And then that disappointing defeat 3-0 away at Wolves on Monday night that we've already spoken of. Armani Little then. Space for Marcus Barnes. Alfie Jones. Wood down the line in search of that run from Tyreek Johnson. Wood with the throw in for Saints. cramped down there in the corner, no time or space. And Jones with the clearance that just slices out of play. Connor Thompson with 1 or 2 changes for Blackburn this evening, and Daniel Butterworth both coming into the side for Jack Doyle and Stefan Moles, the 2 that miss out this evening. Blackburn bench for you then: Andrew Jackson, Charlie Albinson, Ben Payton, Lewis Mansell and Callum Wright. Johnson for the Saints, no space down the left-hand side, so work the ball infield. Doyle, the man on the back of that 3 on the right-hand side of the back 3 for Rovers this evening. Good pressing by Southampton, just trapping Blackburn into that corner, giving them no time to work the ball out. Thompson flicked on by Joe Rankin Costello. He'll be another man to look out for Blackburn this evening. Former Man United Academy man. 2 goals again for him already in this competition, 1 in both of Blackburn's games. Cook. Space again for Barnes. Slatterly just pressed on the halfway line. Blackburn will win the throw-in. Doyle, long ball this time in search of Rankin Costello. Does well to bring it down in turn. Options on his left if he can find him. Butterworth. Early shot on goal, great save by Jack Rose down to his left-hand side. And Saints will try and come away with it down the left. Afolabi just nudged off the ball. Doyle for Rovers, long again from the visitors. Cleared up between Jones with a bit of help from Cook. Again, Blackburn will try and come down that left-hand side. Hardcastle, the Rovers captain this evening. Heavy touch from Nuttall. Strong play from Slatterly in the middle of the park for Southampton. Good save from Jack Rose, fierce shot, plenty of power behind it. Away to his left-hand side, got enough on it just to clear the danger area as well. Rose, of course, signed just a few days ago, August the 14th, on a 1-year deal. Former West Bromwich Albion man. Bit of Football League experience for him as well. Loans during his time at West Brom with Accrington, Stanley and Crawley as well. Was on the bench for that first game against Reading, then played the match away at Wolves. Home debut, if you like, for Rose this evening. Cleared up at the back again by Alfie Jones for Saints. Will win the throw-in. Slatterly there, just challenged heavily, if you like. But Saints will come away with it and try and find Barnes down the right-hand side. Just too much on it for Barnes. Hardcastle just pushed back to his goalkeeper again. Again, just good pressing from Saints there, not giving Blackburn any time on the ball. Slatterly with a nice touch to bring it down in the middle of the park. We'll work it out wide on the left to Wood in an advanced position. Tackle comes in from Rankin Costello. Referee Richard Hulme this evening, keeping a close eye on proceedings. Wood again for Saints, 1-2. Can't get on the return pass, a bit too much on it from Johnson. Blackburn perhaps just edging the possession so far, and certainly the best chance of the game. Wood with the throw in for Saints. Afolabi turns and then Slattery goes down under the challenge. Play on, says the referee. Down the right hand side for Nuttall. Turns well, makes his way into the 18-yard box, 1-on-1. Tries the pullback, well cleared by Thomas O'Connor back there on defensive duties for the Saints. Again, Blackburn just looking lively on the break. Nuttall, that danger man we spoke about earlier down the right hand side. Good defending in the end by Alfie Jones, good recovery, just got enough on that flick back. To end what looked like a dangerous situation developing for the visitors. Corner to Rovers. Joe Grayson will take, left-footed, hooked clear. Good strong play there from Afolabi, who wins the free kick. Jones finds O'Connor with time and space, but no options forward, so he'll go back to his captain. Rovers try and break again through the middle, and Willem Tomlinson. Marcus Barnes just giving Rovers any time to try and open something up. Force the visitors all the way back to Fisher. Offside against Nuttall, the lone striker this evening for Rovers. Good line from Saints at the back there. Armani Little. Wide on the right to Bakary. Saints will work it back out to the left in Wood. Johnson. Misses out, but Saints do well to pick the ball back up again in the middle. O'Connor infield to Slattery. Space for Bakary. Time to have a touch and get his head up with the delivery. Header down from Slattery was a good one. Did well there just to get in front, but couldn't get it enough direction on the ball in the end. Again, space for Bakary out wide on the right, and it was a good delivery in with the right foot. Slattery just nipping in front of Barnes over there, trying a audacious overhead kick. May have been the better option in the end, but Slattery there first with the header. Better from Southampton. Slattery, time to turn. Support from Johnson. Cross to flex up. Afolabi. Jones is there first. Support again from Slattery and O'Connor in the middle. Calls for Saints to just start the play again. No space in the middle of the park, so they're working out wide on the left to Wood. 1-2 between Wood and Johnson. Off of Wood last. Rovers will win the throw-in. Thompson down the line. Nuttall, the big 20-year-old striker with the header. Back towards his own goal and out of play. Throw into Saints. And the live commentary this evening for you on Saints TV. You can watch it via YouTube and Facebook as well. Wood infield to Slattery. Space at the back for Jones, who finds his central defensive partner Cook. Wood. Again, support from Johnson. Johnson just bundled over off the ball by Thompson. Free kick taken quickly. Again, Jones and Cook will just try and work some space at the back. Bakary finds Barnes. Heavy pass from Barnes, picked off by Nuttall. Ball to the back post in search of Rankin Costello. Again, just overhit. Costello can't do enough to keep it in. Goal kick to Saints. Not the start Rose would have wanted to his Saints career with that 3-0 defeat at Wolverhampton on Monday, but certainly had a good start to this evening's game with a good save earlier on in this match. Goal kicks just long and out of play over on the right. Throw into Rovers. They of course top the Premier League Division 2 table in the early stages of the competition with those 2 wins. Of course, scoring the 10 goals put them top on goal difference as Slattery comes forward for Southampton. Again, just held up, but support arrives from Bakary. Options down the line, so it's back infield and a switch of play to Wood. O'Connor. Little will find Bakary. Slattery on the edge of the box. Early cross, just cut off back there, and Blackburn will try and come away with it. But again, good pressing from Saints. Just hurry Fisher into a clearance. Finds Rankin Costello in a bit of space. Travis in support down the left. Field to Hardcastle. Time for Doyle to come forward. Switch of play in search of Rankin Costello. He's just moved over onto that left side. Finds Travis. Rankin Costello to the byline. Again, just good defending from Southampton there as something started to develop for Rovers. This time Rankin Costello down to the byline. Did get a cross in cleanly this time, but another good clearance. Ollie Cook. Right place, right time, the Saints centre-back. Corner to Rovers, Hardcastle. The captain to take. It's a deep one to the edge of the box, headed clear by Afolabi, back on defensive duties. Doyle with the header. Just about finds a black shirt. Thompson out on the left-hand side. Hurried clear up towards Afolabi. Good chasing down by Afolabi there, just trying to make amends for that heavy touch. Did his job. Hurried Rovers into a heavy clearance. Southampton will retain possession at the back with a goal kick. It's a Blackburn top of the table so far, but level on points with a few other teams up there. Just the goal difference that puts them top. Newcastle, Middlesbrough and Brighton also on 6 points, 2 wins from 2. Saints down in 6th. Obviously very early days though, so just only 3 points off those 4 sides we just mentioned. But it has been an impressive start from Rovers, who go long down the line in search of Nuttall. Picked up by Rankin Costello. Space for Thompson. Early cross in towards Nuttall. Well claimed by Rose. Again, Rose looks for the early ball. Thinks twice. Does find Jones. Saints technical director Martin Hunter keen after that defeat at Wolves for Southampton to play their own way this evening. Put their own stamp on this game. Nuttall forward in search of Butterworth. Too much on the pass, and again Rose is there for Southampton. Fisher with the long clearance. Nuttall beaten to the header by Jones. Wood. Support down the line, but goes long instead. Over the head of Johnson. Picked up at the back by Doyle. Wood for Saints, charged down quickly by Rankin Costello. Wood, former Blackburn player, now assistant coach David Dunn in the background there. Little, field to Barnes. Ball forward for Afolabi. Good goalkeeping from Andy Fisher, off his line quickly. Afolabi in behind there. Well read from Rovers number 1. Nice play from Saints. Well won by Barnes, and slid the through ball to Afolabi, just a tad too much on it. Good goalkeeping though from Andy Fisher. Wood. Support from Johnson, those two working well down the left-hand side for Southampton. Bakary in search of Barnes. Again, good play from Barnes. straight on top of the Rovers defenders, giving them no time. Wins the corner. Will be the Irishman Thomas O'Connor, the one change for Southampton tonight, and coming into the side. Signed for Southampton back in 2015. We'll whip this one in left-footed. Towards the back post, Cook there with a header. Always stretching for it. Fisher thought about coming. Good delivery from O'Connor. Cook just peeling off to the back post, but just a bit too much on the corner in the end. As we said, always stretching for the ball, couldn't direct that header on target. Again, Rovers up for that long ball forward in search of Nuttall. One back by Saints. Johnson down the left will turn. Does well to get round the outside of Thompson, but Thompson recovers. Jones up with the header, all 6 foot of him. Matching Nuttall, man for man at the moment. Free kick to Rovers. That late challenge on Rankin Costello. Just clever play from him, just working the ball back inside. Wood a bit late with the challenge. A chance for them to deliver the ball in. Again, it will be the captain, Hardcastle. Well up again by Cook, and hook clear by Barnes. Afolabi isolated up there, but does really well to hold the ball up. He's got support arriving from Johnson down the left. Johnson with an audacious chip. Just trying to catch Fisher off guard. Again, great play in the middle by Afolabi. Just to hold the ball up when he was surrounded by black shirts. Did well to find Johnson. Got his head up early and just tried that dink over the top of Fisher. Decent idea. Just lacking a little in the execution. It's past the halfway mark of the first half then. Those seems pretty evenly matched so far. A couple of opportunities for Southampton. Perhaps the best of the game going to Blackburn early on though. Good save from Jack Rose to deny Travis down the left-hand side. Johnson again in possession down the left. Shifts it early onto his left foot, cross in search of Afolabi. Cleared by Rovers as far as Doyle. Hardcastle nicks the ball away and it will be kept in play over on that left-hand side by Travis. Again, an early ball forward in search of Nuttall. This time he does well to get there in front of Jones, but support from Wood to help Saints clear up at the back. Hardcastle, ball forward in search of Rankin Costello. Again, just good defending from Saints on the edge of their own box. Well read by Wood. Just did enough. Got himself in between Rankin Costello and the ball. Jones again with the header. Forward from Little. Afolabi with the cross. Deflected out of play. Corner to Saints. Again, strong play there from the Irishman. Ball coming over his shoulder, did well there. Strong play just to get enough on it and then get that early cross in to win the corner. 2 goals already for him in the competition so far, coming in that 4-0 win over Reading in Saints' opening game of the Premier League 2 season. Be Thomas O'Connor, left-footed again. This time it's towards the front post, and a good claim from Andy Fisher. Safe hands from the Blackburn number 1. Grayson infield to Hardcastle. Again, Saints will press high. No time on the ball for Rovers, so they have to go slightly longer. Good control from Thompson down this right-hand side. Early ball in search of Butterworth. 1-2 between Butterworth and Rankin Costello. Butterworth will continue his run to the edge of the 18-yard box and just nudged off the ball and cleared by Wood. Thompson to Nuttall. Doyle. Space to get his head up. We'll search for Thompson. Always too much on it for the Rovers winger. Rose in no hurry. 22-year-old with a long ball in search of Afolabi, beaten to the header. One back in the middle of the park by Blackburn. Early ball again in search of Thompson down this right-hand side. Wood across, well, sliding at the feet of Thompson. Saints so far have been pretty well just sniffing out any danger out wide from Rovers so far. That was one point that was highlighted after that defeat to Wolves. 2 of the goals. Nuttall. 1-2 with Thompson. Support from Rankin Costello. Early cross, the back post. Travis has got time to have a touch, put it back onto his right foot, in towards Nuttall. Too much on it, Rose will claim. Dinked cross from Travis down that left-hand side. Heavy challenge from Thompson on, or into the back of Tyreek Johnson, who again just did well just to get himself in between Thompson and the ball. Free kick, says Richard Hulme. O'Connor will go early. 1-2 with Jones. Jones to bring the ball forward for Saints and find Wood. Too much on it for Johnson, cut off by Doyle. One ball forward from Tomlinson. Number of first-team players in the Blackburn squad this evening. First-team squad players, perhaps we should say, for Rovers. Willem Tomlinson, one of them. Andy Fisher, the goalkeeper, as well. No first-team representation for Saints tonight. Perhaps a little bit too close to their game at Huddersfield tomorrow. Looking to bounce back like the under-23s after defeat against Wolves in the week. Tomlinson in the middle of the park for Rovers. Ball forward in search of Butterworth. Again, Rose out to the edge of his box to claim. Time for Armani Little. No options forward. I'll work it out wide to Bakary. Wood with a nice touch inside to Johnson. Again, Saints just up to retain possession. Work something out to Bakary. He's got space down that right-hand side. Early cross again in towards Afolabi. Nearly got there in front of Fisher. Might have got something on that. Again, good goalkeeping from the Blackburn stopper. Just to sweep up the danger, and now Rovers will try and break down the left-hand side. Nuttall in. Great save again from Rose. Brilliant save to deny Rankin Costello from close range. Again away to his left-hand side. That one even better than the first one. Rovers on the break quickly from what was a Saints chance at the other end. Rovers will have a corner. Hardcastle to deliver towards the back post. It came off of a Rovers head last. It was Joe Grayson at up there being challenged by Jones. But Matthew Platt, in fact, with the header, I think. Good defending from Jones. Here's that chance again for Rankin Costello. Good 1-2 between him and Nuttall. Again, a lot of power behind the shot, and that's a brilliant save from Rose. Settling into life at Southampton nicely. 2 good saves to keep the scoreline at 0-0 this evening so far. That one the pick of the bunch. It'll be Blackburn again who try and break, this time through the middle, and Tomlinson. Good defending from Bakary. Well read. Saints will try and get play moving again quickly through Wood. Bakary, space for Armani Little in the middle of the park. 1-2 with Slattery. Again, patient play from Southampton, just try and work the opening. Wood. Rare Friday night game for Southampton in this Premier League 2 campaign. Most will, of course, be played on Monday evenings. Ball forward to Afolabi, just pushed wide, held up in the corner. Marked closely by Doyle, gets round the outside of Doyle and does really well again to win the free kick. Strong play from the Saints number 9. Referee said, Richard Hulme said that'll be a yellow card for Charlie Doyle. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Afolabi had got the better of him. Dangerous situation developing. Doyle will probably take that one for the team. It will be the right foot of Slattery to deliver this free kick. A dangerous position for Southampton. Jones and Cook up for Saints, both centre-backs. Slattery towards the 6-yard box, headed clear by Rovers, only as far as Armani Little. Early shot from Little, plenty of pace and fizz on it, just not the direction. Strong play to win the ball back, and then just nipped in front of Butterworth. Got the shot away nice and early, did Armani Little. May have troubled Fisher had it have been on target. And that's certainly enough pace on it as Blackburn come again through the middle of the park, and captain Hardcastle back to Tomlinson. Forward to Rankin Costello. He's got support arriving from Thompson down the right. Again, good defending from Jones. Space for Johnson, he can turn. O'Connor. To Jones with a bit of help from the referee. Bakary, the Benin international, former Chelsea youth player. Made his international debut back in March. Did Richard Bakary. Looked lively at times this evening. Wins the ball back there for Saints. We'll find Barnes. Moves infield. Early shot, left-footed. Takes a deflection. Spilt by Fisher. And good play from Barnes down that right. Moved in onto his left foot. Got that shot away early. That deflection just troubling Fisher a little bit more than perhaps it would have done. Blackburn keeper was up on his feet quickly to gather. Again, long ball forward in search of the big striker Nuttall. Wins the header down to Travis. Time for Travis to turn, face the Saints goal. Poor ball infield from him, cut off by O'Connor. And a free kick given away by Tomlinson as Rovers try and win the ball back. Who then kicks the ball away in frustration. And I imagine the yellow card will be for kicking the ball away. Although the free kick again was pretty cynical from the Rovers central midfielder. As Southampton look to break. He will be the second man in a short space of time into Richard Hulme's book this evening. Jones with the free kick for Saints. 1-2 with O'Connor, just pulling the strings in the middle of the park for Southampton this evening, just in that deeper central midfield position. Support on the right from Little, who finds Bakary. Barnes can't keep it in play, throw into Rovers. Lewis Travis, left winger for Blackburn this evening, signed from Liverpool back in 2016. Round of applause as a decent ball comes back in from the crowd. Well struck. Bakary with the throw in for Saints. Back to Cook. Saints technical director Martin Hunter gave the team a bit of a talking to during the debrief after their defeat to Wolves on Monday. As we mentioned earlier, is keen for the Saints to get back to putting their own stamp on this game this evening, which they have done at times tonight so far. I think to quote him, he said the debrief was not pleasant for the players and there were a few home truths shared amongst the squad after that game against Wolves. Seems to have had a positive impact so far. That you probably say Rovers have had certainly the best chances so far this evening, testing Jack Rose on 2 occasions. Throw into Saints. We're taken by Wood. Long in search of Athalabi. Infield to Slattery. Strong challenge from Tomlinson. Through the back of Slattery. The referee happy with it. Saints win the throw. It was a strong challenge from Tomlinson, the man who's just been booked by Richard Hulme. Wood infield, gets a return pass, looks up early, left-footed cross in towards Barnes. Nice hang time from Barnes, just couldn't stay up there long enough to get anything on the header. Again, promising play from Southampton down this left-hand side. Nice early ball in from Wood. Rovers come forward now. Tomlinson with that long searching ball, headed down, picked up by Nuttall on the edge of the 18. Tries a volley from the edge of the box, blocked. Back out to Travis. Shifts it back onto his right foot. Cross towards Nuttall at the back post. Thompson's there as well. Again, good defending from Southampton. Curling cross deep into the Saints box from Travis. Well read from Wood. A few times he's had to do that this evening, just mop up at the back. He's been a busy man up and down that left touchline. Corner for Rovers. Cut off at the front post. Tomlinson across strongly again, but it's picked up by Johnson, who'll try and break for Southampton down the left. He's got support in the middle from Afolabi. Good challenge in from Lewis Travis back on defensive duties. Corner well cut off. Again, that man Wood with a header. Strong challenge from Tomlinson, straight back up on his feet. Hardcastle for Rovers. Finds Tomlinson, space on the left for Travis. Support ahead of him from that attacking three of Butterworth, Nuttall and Rankin Costello. It's Rankin Costello who he finds. Back out to Butterworth. Clever back heel, didn't reach its intended target. Saints clear only as far as Thompson. Platt. Grayson. Lovely switch of play, brought down well by Thompson. Gets round the outside of Johnson. Again, Wood is there to cover. Blackburn's management duo. We mentioned David Dunn earlier, didn't we? The former Rovers and Birmingham midfielder. Retired back in 2016 before taking on the assistant coach role. Ball in from Rovers, headed clear by Saints. O'Connor mopping up the second ball, only as far as Hardcastle. Heavy touch from Rankin Costello. Break is on down the right-hand side for Barnes. Shifts it out of his feet, early cross in towards Slattery. Arriving at the back post is Johnson, can't bring the ball down. Space for Rovers to move into now. And Doyle. Butterworth finds Travis. He's going to run it Backery. Couple of step overs again, backing onto that right foot. Early ball to Rankin Costello. Fourth official here just indicating a minimum of 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half, which we now move into. Saints will be pleased, I think, to go in all square at the break. I'll have Jack Rose to thank for that. A new signing in between the sticks tonight, out wide on the right to Thompson. Gets round the outside of Wood, but again Wood just did enough there, recovered well, did enough to put Thompson off his strike. Never really troubling Rose. Neat play from Thompson just to nip inside of Wood, but a good recovery, as we said. Thompson, a former Carlisle man, spent last season on loan at Barrow in the National League. Back at Rovers for the start of the season. And there is the half-time whistle. A solid 45 from Southampton against a good Rovers side. The best of the chances falling to the visitors in that first half, though. Jack Rose making 2 brilliant saves down to his left-hand side. The first one early on coming in from Lewis Travis, palmed away well by Rose. And the second one was a lovely 1-2 on the edge of the box between Rankin Costello and Joe Nuttall. And that was the pick of the bunch in terms of the Rose saves down low to his left-hand side. And he's the reason that Saints will go in 0-0 at the break. Half-time hit from Staplewood. We'll be back shortly for the second half. But it's Southampton under 23s 0, Blackburn under 23s 0. Welcome back to Staplewood for the second half then of tonight's Premier League 2 Division 2 match between Southampton under-23s and Blackburn Rovers under-23s. All square, 0-0 at the break. Chances for both sides in the first half. The best falling to Blackburn Rovers. 2 great saves from Saints goalkeeper Jack Rose to deny Lewis Travis and Joe Rankin Costello for Rovers in that first 45. Just about ready to get back underway. I'm just waiting for the man who can do that for us, referee Richard Hulme. I'll run through the 2 teams for you very quickly then. No changes at the break, so same as the starting 11s for both sides. Southampton, Jack Rose in goal. And your goalkeeper signed from West Bromwich Albion earlier on in this month. It's a back four of Richard Backery, Ollie Cook, Alfie Jones and Will Wood. Marnie Little and Thomas O'Connor just in front of the back 2. Marcus Barnes wide on the right, Tyreek Johnson wide on the left. Callum Slattery in the more advanced midfield position just in behind Jonathan Afolabi. For Southampton on the bench for Saints, Ben Rowthorne, Kingsley Latham, Nathan Teller, Christoph Clara and Will Smallbone. As we get play back underway in this second half, Saints will try and break early down the right through Backery. I'll run through the Rovers side for you in just a second. I'll work it back to Cook, who finds his captain Jones. Wood was a busy man in the first half for Southampton, up and down that left-hand side, and some good defensive headers as well, just when it looked like something dangerous was developing for Rovers. Can't keep that one in. Out of play, throw into Rovers. Their lineup for you then: Andy Fisher, the goalkeeper, again like Rose, between the sticks for Saints. He's been called upon a couple of times, quick off his line. On one occasion to deny Afolabi. And Barnes as well, who was through in behind the Rovers defence. 3 at the back for Blackburn this evening: Charlie Doyle, Matthew Platt and Joe Grayson. And a midfield 4, if you like: Connor Thompson wide right. The 2 men sat in front of the back 3: Lewis Hardcastle, the captain, and Willem Tomlinson. He's one of 2 men in the book already this evening. Tomlinson and Doyle for Rovers in that first half. Wide left, sort of left wing back, Lewis Travis for Rovers. And an attacking 3, Daniel Butterworth and Joe Rankin Costello either side of their target man this evening, Joe Nuttall. 5 goals already in this competition so far. Backery forced back towards his own goal, cleared by Cook, picked up on the halfway line by Slattery. Turns into trouble, cut off by Hardcastle. Again, Thomas O'Connor just mopping things up for Southampton. Done plenty of that already this evening. He was the one change coming into tonight, coming into the team for Ben Rowthorne. Blackburn will try and come down the right-hand side through Thompson. Long run from Thompson, trying to just lay in Nuttall on the edge of the 18-yard box. Jones was equal to it and wins the throw-in deep inside his own half. Throw in from Wood, back in from Rovers. Thompson's there again, marked closely by O'Connor, the Irishman for Saints, and Wood again. Cross in is an early one from Lewis Hardcastle, and it's a long one. Goal kick to Saints. First real look for Southampton fans of Jack Rose since he arrived from West Bromwich Albion. I think fair to say they'll be impressed with what they've seen so far. He did play in that 3-0 defeat away at Wolves, but of course no coverage of that game. making his home debut tonight. Cook will just watch that one out of play. Bakary options down the line in the form of Ofalabi. It's over the head of Ofalabi. Slattery just arriving in behind but can't keep it in play. Hardcastle in the middle of the park for Rovers. Quick ball forward in search of Nuttall. Nuttall on the end of it into the 18-yard box across the face of goal. Shot fired in from Rankin Costello. First time left-footed. Never enough pace on it to trouble Rose. More comfortable for the Southampton goalkeeper this time around. But again, just something for Saints to be aware of. Quick break down the left-hand side for Rovers, that one. Can Southampton do the same in search of Wood? Ball from Armani Little, just too long. And the live coverage of tonight's game on Saints TV. You can watch it on YouTube and the official Southampton Facebook page as well. Blackburn's management duo. David Dunn, the man we didn't get a chance to mention in the first half. Damien Johnson, who you could class as manager. I think his official title is Professional Development Phase Lead Coach. Both of them former Rovers and Birmingham midfielders. Ball forward in search of Butterworth. Fires one into the side netting. Just getting that shot away nice and early. Good angles from the Saints defence, and Rose had it covered as well. Early ball with the outside of the foot. Sharp play from Butterworth. A few Southampton legends taking in this evening's game as well. Matt Letizier, Franny Benali, Gordon Watson there as well. Seeing what the next generation of the Saints Academy has on offer. They'll be pretty impressed with what they've seen so far against what is, as we've been saying all evening, a strong Blackburn Rovers side. If you are just joining us for the second half, Rovers top of the Premier League 2 Division 2 after 2 games. 2 wins from 2, scoring 10 goals in the process as well. It is that goal difference that puts them top of the pile. Rankin Costello, forward to Nuttall. Finds a bit of space and room, trying to shift it onto his left foot early, but again, just good covering there from Richard Bakary. It's been a theme of the Saints defending this evening. One player perhaps caught out a little. There's always been cover there. Certainly the 2 fullbacks have been called into action on a number of occasions. Perhaps Will Wood more so in the first half. Richard Bakary just getting involved in the second. 19-year-old right back for Saints. Throw into the middle of the park for Jones, putting him under a bit of pressure, but Jones did well. Knocks the ball up towards Johnson. Johnson can't hold on to it. And Rovers will come again down that right-hand side through Thompson. Support and an early cross in over there from Doyle. Cut off at the front post and cleared by Jones. Again, O'Connor is there in the middle of the park, but can't hold on to this one. Drops to Thompson. Infield to Butterworth. Shot deflected, corner. Saints technical director Martin Hunter before the game. Picking out set pieces is one of the problem areas for Saints against Wolves earlier in the week. 2 of their goals coming from set plays in that 3-0 defeat. So far, it's been something Southampton have corrected. Be another corner though for Rovers towards the back post. Strong punch from Jack Rose. Comes back in early again from Doyle. Blocked back out to Travis. Cross in early over there from Doyle. Charged down by Cook. It's a high five on his way back into position, or a low five just for that block. Again over on covering duty. Will be a throw in to Rovers. Thompson, the winger, will go back to Hardcastle. Grayson on the halfway line, left-footed ball forward to Nuttall. Does well to get above Jones on that occasion, but Saints will clear. Afolabi down the ball forward in search of Barnes. Early cross from Barnes across the face of goal. Afolabi couldn't get on the end of it. And again, sharp play there from Saints on the break. Barnes knew exactly what he wanted to do. It was a lovely ball down the right-hand side. Not even a look across from Barnes, just pulled the trigger early, knew where Afolabi was, just too far in front of him in the end. But again, promising from Southampton as Rovers try and break through the middle, and Nuttall. He's got support from Travis. Early cross in towards Nuttall, left-footed volley. Into Cook, good call from Rose just to settle things down at the back for Southampton. Been a commanding figure so far for Saints. No option short, so he'll go long up over the halfway line. Shout the time for O'Connor. Opted for the header, one back by Rovers. Thompson infield. Late tackle on Joe Nuttall. Just Bakary taking Nuttall's feet from underneath him. Just a talking to from Richard Hulme. A couple of late tackles from Rovers players in the first half resulted in yellow cards. Ball across from Thompson. Heavy touch from Bakary. Always stretching for it, wasn't he? Just a bit clumsy. No real play developing for Rovers, though. Perhaps that came into consideration for the referee. Crosses a poor one from Grayson. Saints will clear. Hardcastle's there again, though. Can't bring it under control for Rovers. Good pressing again from Saints. Tyreek Johnson over on that left-hand side will force Rovers all the way back to Fisher, the goalkeeper. One of a couple of first-team squad players in action for Rovers tonight. Ball forward in search of Willem Tomlinson. Heavy touch from him, then nearly gets the ball back on the ricochet. Looks like we're going to see a substitution for Southampton shortly. Will Smallbone's going to be the man introduced. Tomlinson in a deep position for Rovers. Again, Saints will press and force the visitors back to their keeper. Well read by Bakary. Slattery enough on it to find Afolabi. Out wide on the left to Johnson. Back onto his right foot, early shot. Was falling over as he struck that, comfortable in the end for Fisher. But again, quick on the break from Saints. Nice ball forward. Johnson quick to turn onto his right foot, always falling away to his right hand side though as he struck the ball. As Rovers come forward now. Cleaned up at the back. Woods there. Given away to Hardcastle. He finds Thompson, shifts it round the outside onto his right foot. Early cross in low. Again, Ollie Cook is there. Last line of defence for Saints. Barking instructions, his teammates. Good play from Thompson down the right. Worked enough room to get the cross in. Important block that from Cook in clearance. Nuttall just lurking in behind him. Saints have kept the big number 9 for Rovers relatively quiet so far this evening. Testament to the way Jones and Cook have played. In the middle at the back. Free kick for Rovers. Rankin Costello goes down. Thinks about the quick free kick. Thinks again. Double team over there. Will Wood involved. No real complaints from the Saints defence. Hardcastle stood over the free kick. Whom just marks out the 10 yards for the wall. Hardcastle's the right-footed option. Think it would suit the in-swing of the left foot more. It is the left-footed in-swinger. Flicked on at the front post and then sent goalwards by Grayson, I think it was. Fortunately for Saints, it was straight at Jack Rose from close range. And again, Rovers come forward. It's Rankin Costello, lays it off to Nuttall. Good pressure on Nuttall from Wood on the edge of the 18-yard box. His shot deflected over and out for a corner. See that free kick again. Dangerous one, slung in left-footed, took a deflection. Came off of Wood, I think, in the end, and it was Charlie Doyle who got the final touch for the Rovers. Good recovery from Rose after the initial stop. Fortunately for Saints, it was relatively close to their goalkeeper. Will be another corner though for Rovers. Again, Rose is there with the punch, and a whistle goes for a free kick against the Saints goalkeeper. Not afraid to come out and command his area. A couple of times now those corners have been whipped in towards his 6-yard box. He's come out with good punches. We are going to see that change for Saints now. 17-year-old Will Smallbone to come on for Southampton. Irish international under 17s. Signed his first pro deal back in February, committing his future to Saints until 2019. He'll come on to replace Thomas O'Connor. Good shift from O'Connor. Back into the side this evening. Good hour out of him, mopping things up in front of the back four for Saints, pulling the strings, as we've said earlier. Smallbone will get half an hour or so to impress. Well read from Bakary there, the sliding block. Timed it perfectly. Throw into Rovers. Travis wanted something quickly, no option, so we'll just wait. Nuttall with a bit of movement, but he finds Rankin Costello. Rovers work it back towards the halfway line. Grayson tried to find the three of Nuttall. Nuttall left it, thought it might run for Rankin Costello. Too much on it. Interesting matchup between these two sides this evening. Ball down the right-hand side in search of Barnes. Onto his right foot again, across the face of goal. Arriving was Will Smallbone with his first touch. A great opportunity to give Saints the lead. He just couldn't get it on target. It was a bit of a stretch for him. Again, good play from Barnes down this right-hand side. Early cross in. This time he managed to pick out Smallbone. He's only been on the pitch a matter of minutes. Nice pull back from Barnes. Always stretching for it. Smallbone just couldn't get it on target. Best opportunity of the game so far, you'd have to say, for Southampton, falling to the substitute. A local man, grew up in Hampshire, of course, in Basingstoke. Early into the action. Yeah, as we were saying just before, that interesting matchup between these two sides this evening. Saints, of course, relegated from the top tier last season. Late tackle in the middle of the park there. Blackburn were in this division last year, finished 6th, 20 points off of top. Swansea who finished in first. They've had a good start to this season. Saints matching them so far tonight. A good response after that defeat against Wolves on Monday evening. Just what Martin Hunter, the Saints technical director, would have wanted. Fisher hurried into the clearance. Just crying out for a goal now here at Staplewood. Floodlights now in full effect. Temperature just dropping a little bit. Slattery in the middle of the park. His ball's cut off by Hardcastle. Butterworth, in fact. Can't find a black and red shirt infield. Saints will come away with it. There's space for Wood to move into. Again, patient play from Southampton. Just retaining possession. Wait for the slow build up, try and find an opening. Smallbone can't bring it under control. Rovers will come away with it. Damien Johnson barking instructions at his Blackburn Rovers side. Former Northern Ireland international in charge of their development squad. Ball forward in search of Afolabi, who was in behind there, and referee pulls it back for a free kick to Saints. Bit of frustration from the supporters here. Free kick given for the foul on Will Smallbone. Southampton frustrated play wasn't allowed to continue. Free kick taken quickly. Wood on the left, early cross, left-footed, it's deep, straight into the arms of Fisher. Grayson peels off for the visitors. Bit of room to move into. Saints happy for Rovers just to ping the ball around at the back. Force them to go long. Nuttall peels off his man, is able to bring it down, marked closely by Slattery. Does well to win it back in the middle of the park and bundled off the ball by Lewis Hardcastle. Clever play by Callum Slattery. Hardcastle is going to have a bit of a talking to. Not very happy with the decision, difficult to argue with. Though, Slattery just winning the ball back and then getting in front of Hardcastle, forcing him to make the foul. Good play from Slattery. He's had a good evening, the 18-year-old. Of course, signed that new 3-year deal last month, committing his future to Saints until 2020. Alfie Jones, just overhit. Imminent change for Blackburn Rovers, their first of the evening. It's going to be Callum Wright, the man coming on. Just going through a few final checks of the fourth official. It's going to be Daniel Butterworth, the man replaced. former Manchester City man. His evening is done. Been involved at times, but a frustrating evening probably for Butterworth. Looks like it will be like for like with Wright, who'll just go up into that attacking three with Joe Rankin-Costello and Joe Nuttall for Rovers. And we're going to see another change for Saints as well. Nathan Teller, the man coming on. Saints winger. 17-year-old, signed in April after 10 years at Arsenal. He will replace Tyreek Johnson, who gets a handshake from Martin Hunter on his way off the field, and a well done. It's been lively down that left-hand side this evening. Nathan Teller will go and take his place over there. Callum Wright just going up alongside Rankin-Costello in more forward position for the throw-in, with Nuttall just pulling off as the target man for Rovers. It's Rankin-Costello who goes down, straight back up on his feet. Throw into Rovers. Wood there again for Saints. Smashes the clearance long, too long for Afolabi. Just with that earlier change for Saints, just Callum Slattery dropping a bit deeper alongside Armani Little and Will Smallbone playing at the base of Saints' attacking diamond this evening. We said it earlier, but the game just really crying out for a goal at the moment. Certainly been chances for both sides. It's just quieting down in this second half. Neither team really wanting to give an inch. Again, Southampton just make it tight for room over on that right-hand side for Rovers. Good pressing. Saints will win the throw. Wood assessing his options. Switch of play to Bakary. Bit of room to move into. Support down the right from Barnes. Just a heavy touch from Barnes, unlucky there. Throw into Rovers. Few of the Saints youngsters not involved this evening, just in the background there. Still here to take in the game. Ball one back in the middle of the park. Slattery. Wood, and again Slattery's there again. Just dispossessed in the middle of the park. Closed down quickly by two Rovers players. Grayson into the Saints half. Late tackle from Slattery. Claims he didn't touch Rankin-Costello. Come through the back of him. If he did touch him, that is. More than happy to take Slattery for his word there. Frustrated that decision's gone against him. Free kick taken quickly by Rovers. No room, but they will work a bit of space for Rankin-Costello. Looks for the cross, no options, back to Hardcastle. Whipped in towards the back post. Nuttall with the header, straight up in the air. Not cleared by Saints, back in towards Nuttall on the turn with the volley. couldn't bring the ball down, or couldn't wait for it to come down. Nicked away from him. Good defending again from Southampton. Travis down the left, back in onto his right foot. Nathan Teller, quick to close down Tomlinson, who turns away from him. Teller slips, back up on his feet quickly though. Rovers try and work it down the right-hand side, and Thompson, heavy touch from him. One back by Saints, but then given away again. Hardcastle will look left. Grayson to the edge of the box, brought down well by Rankin Costello. Early shot blocked. Room again down the right for the visitors. Early cross in. The substitutes there with their header and couldn't get it goal. Was Callum Wright. Really should have done better with that. Pretty much a free header in the end. Just couldn't turn his body enough to direct the ball goalwards. It's a good cross in, early cross in from Thompson. Wright, the substitute, in behind the Saints back line. Just that angle for him, wasn't it? Picked out well by Thompson. He just couldn't turn his body enough or his head to direct that one goalwards. Jack Rose, Saints goalie, just throwing his arms up in the air, wanting to know how Wright managed to just sneak in between two Southampton defenders there. But again, fortunately for Saints, it's well wide. Scoreline will say all square at 0-0. Saints forward through Smallbone. Finds Teller. Gets his couple of early touches on the ball. Tries to weave his way between two Rovers defenders. Dispossessed, but Southampton will win it back. Bakary, space down the right. Cramp for room for Southampton. They're forced back to Cook deep inside their own half. But again, patient play from Saints. The Southampton management staff will be pleased with that. Just keeping their own mark on this match this evening. Space for Rovers and Doyle. Makes his way towards the halfway line. Slattery's there, but it's a good sliding tackle from Rankin Costello. Can't find Nuttall with the pass, so Southampton will try and break down the left-hand side now. Smallbone finds Nathan Teller. Teller across the face of goal in search of Afolabi. Cut off. Smallbone running in. It's back out to Barnes. Can't pull the trigger quick enough. Good tackle there. Last-ditch tackle. Rovers will try and break down the right now. Early cross in from Rankin Costello. Beats the first man. Jones can't get the clearance away, but Cook there again to cover his teammate. Out of play for a corner to Rovers. Matthew Black back on his feet. It's a good ball across the face of goal by Teller. Cut off, and then Smallbone in on the second. Went down under the challenge, and Barnes couldn't pull the trigger quick enough. But again, promising play from Southampton. They'll need to be on their toes at the other end though. Corner to be whipped in, left-footed. Centre-backs forward again for Rovers. It's towards Matthew Platt. Gets up above the Southampton players. And gets the final touch on the ball, according to Richard Hume, who was well positioned right in front of it. There's that corner again. It was Platt who got up above everyone. Like it may have come off a Saints head last. Damian Johnson encouraged by that play from his side. That set piece. We mentioned it earlier, didn't we? It was a weakness for Southampton against Wolves, the set plays, but they've dealt with them well so far. Ball over the top, and Afolabi nearly in behind here, and Fisher hurried into a clearance there. Bit of a mix-up at the back from Rovers. Let the ball bounce. It was over the head of Doyle. He got the final touch. Fisher probably could have used his hands on that because it didn't look like a deliberate back pass, but he wasn't taking any chances. Afalabi sniffing in behind. Couldn't get there quick enough. Will be a throw in to Saints deep inside the Rovers half. Bakary forward to take it. Missed clearance by Rankin Costello. Back out to Wood. Ambitious shot from him early with the left foot. Didn't get a clean connection. Off balance as he struck the ball. Bright idea, that's the kind of thing that may just break the deadlock in this game, you'd think. A moment of class, something to set the two teams apart. Been pretty even Stevens so far, as the scoreline would suggest. Doyle with the clearance for Rovers. One back by Saints. Smashed clear by Lewis Hardcastle. Good battle in there with Armani Little. Both players committed to trying to win the ball back. Jones on the edge of his own 18-yard box. Bakary will peel off, found by Cook. Field to Slattery. Again, he's just taken to that switcher position really well in this second half. It's a bit deeper. Ball forward in search of Teller. Again, Fisher's called into action. Has to come out and head the ball clear outside of his 18-yard box. A flag up for offside though against Teller. Just playing right on that last man as he tries to get in behind the Rovers back line. Difficult to see from our commentary position whether it was the right decision. Lots of talk about Nathan Teller during his time at Arsenal. High hopes for the young man. Yeah, a big season for him, his first here at Staplewood. As we said earlier, a rare Friday night game under the lights for Southampton in this Premier League 2. The most will be on Mondays. Next one coming up on the 11th of September against Aston Villa. Away at Aston Villa, we should say. The Bescott Stadium. Saints win the free kick. Halfway inside their own half. Then back here at Staplewood on Monday the 18th of September against Stoke. And of course, before all that, the first team in action tomorrow away at Huddersfield. Looking to make it back-to-back Premier League wins. After that brilliant performance against West Ham last Saturday. Obviously trying to put that Carabao Cup exit behind them quickly. It's Smallbone on the edge of the 18-yard box. Tries to pull the trigger. Good defending from Rovers. One youngster, of course, not involved this evening. Olufella Olamola, currently out on loan at Yeovil Town. Another goal for him in their last game. That's 3 in 2 matches now for Olamola. Opened the scoring in their defeat against Forest Green in their last match. It's been a good start to his loan spell there. Again, mopped up at the back really well by Ollie Cook. Former Fulham man who joined Saints back in 2014. He's been a rock alongside Jones so far this evening. Teller hurries Rovers into a clearance. Slattery's there to pick up the pieces. Space again for Bakary. No options down the line, so opts to go infield this time. Slattery wide on the left to Wood, forward in search of Teller. Good tackle at the feet of Teller by Doyle. He's looked lively, has Nathan Teller, since his introduction in this second half. Throw in taken by Wood. 1-2, get it back from Smallbone over there, and then get the cross in, but it's cleared by Rovers. Approaching the final 5 minutes then. Will we see the breakthrough? Certainly Rovers had the best of the chances in the first half. I think on reflection you'd say Southampton the best of them in the second. That one that really stands out was the one for Will Smallbone, just moments after he was introduced as a substitute. Lovely ball across the face of goal by Marcus Barnes. Smallbone at full stretch just couldn't get it on target. Rovers down the right hand side. Thompson, early cross, perhaps a shot. Either way it was poor, and a play for a goal kick. I think it was the cross, just didn't wrap his foot round it enough. Live commentary for you tonight on Saints TV, YouTube, and the official Facebook channel. Of course, you can see some of the highlights from the game. A couple of great saves in the first half from Jack Rose. Up now on the Southampton Twitter account. Well worth a watch, certainly the second one, to deny Rankin Costello. Down low to his left-hand side. A few highlights from the new Saints goalkeeper. Cleared by Platt. Throw into Saints. 4 minutes to try and find a winner. Bakary with options down the line, but goes infield to Barnes, who just peels off of his man. Can't win the ball though. Travis will try and clear, gives it away. One back by Rovers. Willem Tomlinson, another one of those first team squad members for Rovers in under 23 action tonight. Cross comes in early on that right hand side. Thompson again, it's low, and again Rose is there, diving away to his right hand side, and then a powerful shot comes in from the edge of the box. Fortunately for Saints, it's over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. Good cross in. Again, Hardcastle with the strike from the edge of the box, with the ball just sat up. That was low cross in from Thompson first of all, which called Jack Rose into action. Did enough, the Saints goalkeeper, just to clear the 18-yard box. Fortunately for Saints, the rebound over the bar from Hardcastle. Ball bouncing around on the edge of the box. Good tackle in there from Smallbone. Intricate play with him and Afolabi. Out on the edge of the box to Nathan Teller. Gets the early shot away, can't get it on target. Pretty much sums up Saints' evening so far. Not really tested Andy Fisher so far. They've had the opportunities, just haven't been able to get anything on target tonight of any real note. Again, lively there from Teller, shifted the ball quickly onto that right foot. Just couldn't get the direction to work Fisher in the Blackburn goal. Different story at the other end, of course, with Rose being called into action on a number of occasions. As Callum Wright comes down the left-hand side for Rovers, Cross in with the right foot, it's not cleared in towards Nuttall, who heads Rovers into the lead with just minutes left of this game. Saints have defended brilliantly throughout the match, but couldn't get the ball clear there, and it was a relatively easy header in the end for Nuttall. And his rich goal-scoring form continues. That's his 6th of the season in just 3 games in this Premier League 2 campaign. It's Southampton under 23s 0, Blackburn Rovers under 23s 1. It's that cross in again from the substitute right. Just unlucky there from Slattery. Couldn't get the header out of the box. Skidded off the top of his head. And an easy header from close range for Nuttall. The 20-year-old doesn't miss chances like those. Only joined Rovers in July permanently, but made a real impact so far this season. There's 6 goals, 3 of them coming in Rovers' 5-1 win over Wolves in their opening game in this Premier League 2 campaign. Edging into stoppage time now then. It's a real frustrating end to the 90 minutes for Southampton, but they will have 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes, to try and find themselves an equaliser. 4th official there, just indicating the stoppage time. Enough for something to happen at the other end for Southampton. Headed clear by Cook. Cook hurried into the clearance by Nuttall. Powerful tackle from the Rovers goal scorer. Rose with a bit more urgency now to take this goal kick. Free header for Rankin Costello. Urged to see it out by his teammates, didn't do it. Gives away the throw-in. Bakary finds Cook. Saints work it left. Woods in space. Teller's the outlook ball down the left. Turn a pace from him, just can't get on the end of it. Nuttall in the middle of the park finds Rankin Costello. Space down the left for Travis. Bakary's there for Southampton. Travis works it into the corner, but then in field to Rankin Costello. Heavy touch from him. Under pressure, goal kick to Saints. 2 minutes of that, 3 minutes of stoppage time gone. Can Martin Hunter's side find an equaliser right at the death this evening? On the balance of things, probably don't deserve to be behind this evening. They've had chances. We did mention though earlier, didn't we, that just not really tested Andy Fisher. Something that Rovers have done at the other end. Plenty to build on here for Southampton. Wood given away down the left. Thompson picks his pocket and drives down the touchline. Beats one man. Beats a second. Illegally. Free kick to Saints. And a little shove in the back from Ollie Cook. Just repaying the favour after Thompson nudged Alfie James to the ground. 1 for 1. Ball forward from Saints. Over the halfway line. Not enough time for Saints to find that equaliser, and there is the full-time whistle. And a disappointing end to what was a good 85 minutes from Southampton. They knew it was going to be a tough game this evening. Rovers maintain their 100% record and start to the season. They put 5 past the 2 other teams they've played, but only 1 past Saints this evening. That late goal, header from Joe Nuttall, the difference between the 2 sides. Southampton had their moments in the second half. Good opportunity for Will Smallbone, perhaps the best. Couldn't get his shot on target at full stretch. And it will be back-to-back defeats in Division 2 of Premier League 2 for Southampton. Plenty to build on, as we said, for them this evening. Here is that goal, just unfortunate with the clearance from Slattery. Couldn't get the header out of the 18-yard box, instead slid off the top of his head back towards his own goal, and an easy header for Joe Nuttall. 6 goals now in 3 games for him this season, the Rovers striker. But one big positive to come out of the game, Jack Rose, who you can see there in the background, the Saints goalkeeper, will be frustrated not to have kept a clean sheet. Again, just seeing that winner deep into normal time from Nuttall. But Jack Rose signed from West Brom earlier this month. A couple of great saves in the first half and some solid work in the second as well. Just walks off deep in conversation with Martin Hunter. But in the end, a frustrating evening for Southampton here at Staplewood. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, the first team in action away at Huddersfield tomorrow. And the under-23s back away at Aston Villa on Monday, the 11th of September. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Full time here from Staplewood. Southampton 0, Blackburn 1.